Hey guys, welcome back. So, after the last video, I put up a poll, and it basically just asked if you wanted to see me do drawing Christmas foods as people, or drawing my characters in like a Christmas photo. And I was actually surprised by this, but the character one won. And then I remembered that a lot of the times when I think about putting my characters on the channel, I actually never really do. So you guys don't know about 80% of the people who are in this video, but I guess this would be a good way to introduce all my stories. There's more than that, but that's all I'm willing to do right now. I'm gonna put the sketches for the actual drawing right here, because I might need to practice drawing some of these characters. I think I'm gonna go for something more like a landscape instead of portrait. Now, the problem isn't really figuring out what I want the background to be, even though I have trouble with backgrounds. It's figuring out where to put everybody. This was the idea that I kind of had in my head. I know this looks really goofy, I'm so sorry. Yeah, y'all get the idea, this is a rough sketch. But see, then I don't know if everyone would fit in here. I was also thinking they could all be at some sort of table and just have the tree behind them or something, like this. That looks really bad, I promise it's not gonna look like that. I could do something like this. Have someone decorating here. Someone could be holding the ladder. We need 3 more. If the floor's here, we could have someone sitting. I'm trying to take their personalities into consideration while doing this. I think we have... Oh, actually, shockingly, there's only 2 people here who aren't from Earth. Or at least, literal Earth. AR, where it's alternate reality. Yeah, Zane and Marcy don't technically live on Earth. The problem is, I want all of them to kind of be facing the camera. Oh, you could have someone warming up. Okay, that's 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that works. It looks like it needs to be refined, and I need to decide who's going where. Jason and Marcy are probably the 2 nicest of the group. Zane has more of an aggressive personality. Cassian is indifferent, so is Aries, and Adira is just kind of there. She's chill. I think it could be funny to have Zane trying to figure out how to wrap presents, because Marcy can be the one putting the star on top, because since Aries would be the oldest, I either want him here or here. And by the way, if you have no idea who these people are, I am going to explain, so don't worry. So that would leave Cassian and Jason, because I can't really have Jason over here because he doesn't like the fire. So yeah, I think this works, actually. I like this idea. I didn't want to do a square, but I think a square might work best for what I want to do. So yeah, we're gonna go with that. I'm gonna practice drawing some of these guys. I've never drawn this many characters in one illustration before, I don't think. So this should be very interesting. I've probably said this before, but I'm just gonna say it again as a warning. For whatever reason, the colors on my tablet and the colors on my phone look very different. My phone makes drawings appear much more vibrant, but also darker, and I don't know which one is right, so yeah. And I have no idea how you guys are seeing it either, so it might look a little goofy. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume the only character in this drawing you recognize if you've been on this channel before is Marcy. I draw Jason a lot, so you've probably seen him in some old sketchbook tour videos, but that's probably the extent of your knowledge. So I can just go ahead and explain a few things about each of these characters. Jason, the one holding the ladder, is my oldest OC. He has existed since I was, I think, in 1st grade? Maybe 2nd? I didn't really know what an OC was, but I had him, and I kind of just threw him into every single story scenario I thought of. Technically, he wasn't the main character back then, he was just a side character. Or I guess he was a main character, but the main character was his sister, who has since been scrapped because I hate her. Jason didn't become the main character until I think I was in 4th or 5th grade. But yeah, I don't really want to talk about his story, I'll just let you guys pick up on some stuff as I post things. He also has multiple different versions of the story, because he's kind of let me put it this way, his story will probably never be published. Every other character I have, I kind of intend on publishing their stories in a comic form or something like that. He's kind of just mine. So if the story is cringy and has a ton of plot holes, that's perfectly fine because no one's gonna see it and it's not gonna be published. One thing you do need to know about my stories though is that all of them happen in the same universe. The characters never meet, but they exist in this. It's hard to explain because some of them don't live on Earth, and Earth does exist in this universe. It's just different, and it's a whole thing that I have to go into. But yeah, none of them actually meet on screen, at least. Some of them meet off screen, but I won't get into that. The next character is Cassian, who you can't see right now because I'm currently just doing line art, but Cassian is the blonde boy who is on the ladder. Cassian's story is pretty simplistic, but I still like it. He lives in Britain, which is kind of important, I guess. Or he does for a little bit, for like 2 seconds on screen. But then he and his brother find a tower that connects their world to another world. Or I guess connects Earth to another world. This causes a whole bunch of problems for them. A very long story, they end up on a world with bird people. And that's quite literally all the time I have to explain that. I'm not even gonna explain Marcy's story, I feel like we have enough of that. Ares is from the 70s, he lives on Earth. His story's kind of just slice of life until it's not. Zane lives in kind of a dystopian world, with some people who have power, some people don't. He does not, but I can't say anything about that, it's a spoiler, but it's, yeah, one of those worlds. And I don't think I can say anything about Adira because Adira is technically not fully mine. She's half mine and half my friends because we were working on a story together, and Adira is the main character of that story. I don't know if I've said this before, but Adira is just Diana from my Sketchbook 1 tour. They're the same person, it's just that she has a different name now. So that's where she's from. So I guess I technically misspoke earlier. Adira is not in the same universe as the rest of my characters are. She's not mine. Or not fully. As I go on, these characters will definitely resurface a lot, especially Jason and Cassian. Fun fact, originally Cassian's story was going to be the first one I published. I had his entire script written out and I was going to start drawing. And then I reread it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. And I actually created Marcy's story as kind of a test story to just see or not a test story, I guess a debut story. But now I'm really attached to her story too, so, which I guess is a good thing because it'll be better then. Going into next year, I definitely hope to start posting her story on Webtoon or something. Maybe Tapas? If you guys know any good places to post webcomics, just let me know. I'm also probably not gonna post anymore this year, but that's not saying much considering there's only like a week left, so I'm just gonna be missing a week. And the first video I do when I come back is probably gonna be a Meet the Artist because I realized no one knows anything about me at all. But that is going to be pretty much all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, especially those who have been here since I started the channel back in May, I think. Thank you guys for sticking with me. We are at 47 subscribers right now, which is pretty much the same amount I had the first time I made this channel. So again, thank you for watching and have a great Christmas.